Kazuma Kiryu is probably one of the greatest video game protagonists ever created. He pretty much embodies what a man should be. Strong, honorable, respectful, well-dressed, and he don't take no shit from nobody. Here's a brief exposition on Kiryu. He was born on June 17, 1968. His parents died when he was just a child, and he was sent to an orphanage called the Sunflower Orphanage. At the Sunflower Orphanage, Kiryu met Akira Nishikiyama, who would later become his sworn oath brother. When they were still young, Kiryu and Nishikiyama was adopted by a Yakuza named Shintaro Kazama, who would later introduce them to the criminal underworld. After graduating from junior high school, Kiryu and his best friend Nishikiyama expressed interest in joining the Yakuza. Despite Shintaro Kazama's disapproval of the teenagers joining the Yakuza, Kiryu and Nishikiyama's determination persuaded him to take them under his wing. Kiryu and Nishikiyama was then sworn into the Dojima family, the most powerful subsidiary of the Yakuza's Tojo clan. Starting out as a debt collector for the Dojima family at 20 years old, Kazuma Kiryu began making a name for himself in the Yakuza. As years passed, Kiryu became a force to be reckoned with as he rose in rank. Kiryu became a legend within the streets of Kamurocho, Japan, where he was known and feared as the Dragon of Dojima. Now this video is not about Kiryu's accomplishments throughout the series, but rather his more personal side. As powerful and amazing as Kiryu is, one cannot help but think that he might be a virgin due to his relationships and personal interactions. From my experience playing the Yakuza games, I know Kiryu only loved one woman in his life, which was his childhood friend Yumi Sawamura. Unfortunately for Kiryu, Yumi experienced a traumatic event which left her with severe memory loss. In her time of weakness, Yumi was impregnated by a despicable politician named Kyohei Jingu. By the time Yumi began regaining her memory and her feelings for Kiryu were beginning to blossom again, she was murdered by Jingu. After the events of Yakuza 1, Kiryu took in Haruka, Yumi's daughter, and raised her as his own child. Although I haven't played Yakuza 2 as yet, I have come to learn that Kiryu had another love interest by the name of Sayama Kaoru. Based on my research, it is highly unlikely that Kiryu and Sayama did anything sexually, because although Sayama had feelings for Kiryu, Kiryu never reciprocated those feelings. Therefore, canonically wise, Kiryu has never had sexual relations with anybody, or at least it is not explicitly revealed if he did. Thanks to the almost unlimited activities to partake in the Yakuza games, ranging from hanging out at hostess bars to watching semi-XXX films in a video store, the player can make Kiryu do some bizarre things. However, there is no side quest or activity that leads to Kiryu having sex with someone. Now, why would the developers choose to make such a well-rounded character a virgin? Well, I had a couple of ideas. Japanese culture may appear highly sexualized. However, the reality might be quite the opposite. As of 2017, it was estimated that a large number of young Japanese people entering their 30s had no sexual experience. According to 2016 surveys, 42% of men and 44.2% women ages 18 to 34 were virgins. Some men in Japan are afraid to approach women due to deep fears of rejection, while some think that women are only concerned with status and money. Therefore, instead of pursuing women, Japanese millennials choose to focus on other activities such as animation. Japanese women said that they feel men cannot be bothered with, for it is easier for them to watch internet porn and get sexual gratification. Japanese men are choosing to abstain from sex and avoid romantic relationships, which has reduced the birth rate in Japan by about 1 million as of 2016. In Yakuza games, the term salaryman comes up frequently. A salaryman is a person who commits so much time working for an income that it severely affects their personal life and relationships with their family. These men are so drained from the time invested working that they become depressed and lose the drive for sexual pursuits. Now let's connect this back to Kazuma Kiryu. For the Japanese, Kiryu is an icon. In a sense, he embodies the strength and focus that comes when you are not distracted or concerned with sexual pursuits. Maybe Kiryu is a reminder that there is more to life than sex, and being a virgin does not detract from your masculinity or capabilities. Kiryu's celibacy also has connections to the Sekutsu Shinai Shokogunor, or celibacy syndrome in Japan. Many men have chosen to remain celibate because they just simply do not find sex that interesting. As for Kiryu, his celibacy might be the source of his inhumane physical and mental strength. By channeling his sexual energy into other pursuits, he can achieve what others cannot. Take his heat actions into consideration. In science, heat is the term used to reference sex drive. In the Yakuza games, the player can use heat actions to pull off the most powerful moves in the game. Fighting puts Kiryu into a frenzy, which increases his heat. Kiryu releases this sexual or heat energy by fighting even more. This leads me to believe that fighting is what truly arouses Kiryu. In Yakuza 5, another love interest of Kiryu named Mayumi said this: "We've been together for 6 months, but haven't done anything," in which Kiryu responds by rejecting her sexual advances. Yakuza 6 confirmed my belief that Kiryu is a virgin from his response to this event.
俺は純然たるマスコットキャラだ。イメージを損なう色恋沙汰なんかに手は出さねえ。生まれてこの方、ずっと童貞だ。
童貞？道夫君？
え？いいかいいか。童貞はジョークだ。困ったな。よし。こんな時は。Oh no!
出ましたね。道夫君。
I think that the developers making Kiryu a virgin acts as a reflection of how Japanese men view sex or temptation in their culture. Sex may be glorified in Western culture, however, Kiryu is a symbol that you don't have to conform to societal norms, and life is much better when you stick to your own path. In Kiryu's case, it's beating the shit out of thugs and doling out his own sense of justice in defense for the people he cares about. However, a more simpler way to view it is that Kiryu is asexual and just doesn't want to get romantically involved to drag anyone into his way of life. Thanks for tuning in to Empowered Gamers with your host Elusive. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any arguments to refute the fact that Kiryu is not a virgin, please leave a comment to keep the discussion going. Thanks for watching.